All right, what's up, guys? We're here this morning to do a stretch routine, all right? Real basic, real straightforward, large muscle groups, full body, okay? You don't need too much. Only need a phone, timer, okay? And maybe something to hold on to, like a foam roller, or a chair, or a couch, or even a wall, okay? It's gonna be really straightforward, real simple to do. And we're also gonna be clocking the time, all right? I'd like to think that you can do this in about 15 minutes, okay? So this is before your workout, as a warm up, at the end of the day, first thing in the morning, whenever you need, especially now that we have this crisis, this pandemic where we're locked down here in Delaware. It's the 25th, the second day. So I'm gonna be doing stuff every day. So today is gonna be stretching, all right? So we're not going to wait. We're going to go right for it, okay? First, we're going to warm up. Then we're going to do our stretches. It's going to be 30 seconds a piece for 2 stretches each muscle group, okay? Toe to head, all right? But besides that, let's wait no longer and get into it. So we're going to start with some high knees as a warm-up and 3 other exercises to follow, okay? We don't want to start manipulating the muscle before we have a good amount of blood oxygen going to that muscle group, okay? So we're going to really move around the hips before we get into our stretches. We're doing 15 seconds per exercise, so let's get ready for our next warm-up. Next, we're going to do some external hip rotation by driving a knee straight up, opening up the hip, bringing the knee outward and putting the foot flat on the ground. And then we'll bring the foot in to do the other leg, okay? As you can see here, I'm driving up that knee straight up, opening up the hip, putting the foot down, and then alternating to the other side. And then we go into internal rotation. So for internal rotation, we have to initially open up our hip, which is putting our foot about a 90 degrees to the opposite heel. Okay, then driving up the knee, then swinging the knee up and inward. As you can see, I'm almost using my hand as a target, bringing my knee up and inward towards the palm of my opposite hand. All right, 15 seconds, and then we go into our last warm-up. And to finish, we're going to be doing some butt kicks. All right, not any high-intensity butt kicks, real low-impact butt kicks. We're just bringing a foot off the ground, all right, and reaching for our butt. Okay, don't really try to kick yourself unless you have real comfortable range and motion in your hips and knees. In that case, feel free, kick your butt. But this is really just getting the blood flowing before we go into our stretch. Really low impact, no need to really push ourselves too hard here. Now that we're all warmed up, I feel really good about going into our first stretch. We're going to be stretching out our hamstrings, the back of our legs, feet outside your shoulders, toes pointed straight, and then just hang straight down in between your legs, okay? Not pulling yourself down, just hanging there, allowing your body weight just to help you stretch the back of your leg, also the lower back area. As you can see, I changed my hand position from hanging downward to holding my elbows. In this case, I feel a lot more of a stretch in my lower back. Once 30 seconds have passed, we're gonna stand straight up and get ready for our next hamstring stretch. Once we're standing up, we're going to bring our feet inside of our hips and doing the same motion as we did with our last stretch, just dropping our body down, letting the weight of our body hang, which will help amplify the intensity of the stretch. And again, I hold my elbows. I feel like that's a good way for me to feel that stretch a lot more in my back as opposed to just my hamstrings. So once our 30 seconds passes here, we've done 2 stretches for our hamstring, and now we're just going to switch over to the opposite side and do our quadricep. So you might need your foam roller or chair for this one because we're going to be balancing on one leg. Okay, to stretch the quadricep, you want to bring your left foot into your right hand, grabbing underneath the ankle, or vice versa. Okay, and we want to stand nice and tall. So while you're holding this pose, make sure that your head is up. As you can see here, you're standing nice and tall. Deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And once you're done with your 30 seconds, we can go right into the opposite leg. All right, switching feet, grabbing the opposite foot with the opposite hand, again underneath the ankle. If you can't grab that high, then you can grab lower on the foot, more close to the toes. and go at your fitness level, okay? Standing with good posture might be enough stretch for you. You don't have to pull the leg to get a good stretch, okay? Take your time if you have to. All right. Also, I'm holding myself in between the ceiling and the floor. So that's my way of stabilizing. Then you can release the leg and get ready for our second quadricep stretch. Now we're doing a similar stretch. The difference is instead of crossing our leg behind us, we're going to be grabbing the same side of our body, left foot into left hand as you see here. I'm also adjusting my hand, okay, moving it away from my ankle. In this case, I feel the stretch a lot more, not just in the quadricep, but underneath the knee and above the ankle, in my shin area. Remember, you're standing nice and tall with your head up, taking deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth throughout the whole stretch. Now you can drop that foot and go right into the other side. Again, right foot goes into right hand, or left foot goes into left hand. All right, remember to hold on if you have to. You don't have to, try to balance on one foot unless you feel comfortable. But definitely don't catch yourself dropping your foot over and over and over again because you're taking away from the stretch. Hold on if you have to. All right, again, this is at your fitness level. Now you can release the leg and lay down so we can get to our next stretch. So keep your knees bent and feet flat. Then bring one foot on top of the opposite knee, raise the opposite leg, and then grab behind the knee while you drop the leg over your hands. That's how you should end up in this position here. Now, while I'm here, I'm taking deep breaths in through my nose and out through my mouth. The deep breaths are pushing your diaphragm and your stomach into the back of your spine, lengthening out the spine as well. Now let's go ahead and release the leg and go right into the other side. Again, knees are bent, feet flat. Bring the opposite foot onto the opposite knee. Bring the leg straight up, wrapping our fingers behind the knee, and then dropping our leg over our hands. Again, ending up in the same position, just the opposite side. Now you can release the leg and get ready for our next stretch. Now you can sit nice and tall with both legs straight. Bring one knee into your chest, and that same leg, you can put that on the opposite side of your straight leg. Use the inside of your elbow joint to grab your knee and twist your body away from your straight leg. Deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth will help you feel a nice, comfortable stretch in your lower back. And you'll also feel this in your glute of the bent leg. And now for the opposite side, we're going to do the same thing. Bring the opposite knee into your chest. Put that foot over the straight leg. And instead of wrapping my elbow around my leg on this side, I'm just going to use my hand to pull my knee into my chest as I'm twisting away from my straight leg. Okay, I'm not as flexible on this side, so let this be a note that you take. You don't have to, again, put yourself in a position of someone else. Put yourself in a comfortable position for your fitness level. Now you can slowly turn to your starting position and releasing the leg to release the stretch. Work your way over to your hands and knees and get ready for our next stretch. Now we're going to be stretching the inner thigh by putting our hands flat on the ground to make sure that we can support our body weight, and then step into a kneeling position with only the balls of your feet and your hands are on the ground. All right, from here, we're just going to be putting the back of our elbows to the sides of our knee, and then just giving a little bit of pressure in the sides of our knees with our elbows. In that case, we're going to be feeling a nice stretch in our inner thigh. Now you can relax by standing straight up and getting ready for our next stretch. Now you can kneel down on one knee, and we're going to be focusing on the side with the knee down. So the other side, you can use your hand to either hold onto a chair or the foam roller as you see here. Bring the opposite arm straight up in the air. Once you're straight up, then you can slightly do about a 10 degrees turn, opening up your rib cage, deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth as you feel the stretch going from your hip all the way up into your shoulder even. Now after your 30 seconds, you could go ahead and turn back forward, dropping the arm, and then switch sides. So here's a better view so you can see my hip position. All right, I'm looking for about 90 degrees in different areas of my lower body, and then you'll see me adjusting my hips back and forth. They don't have that much range of motion, so me pushing my hips slightly forward gives me enough stretch. And again, I'm going to follow through after that by bringing my arm straight up in the air, turning 10 degrees outward, and just allowing the stretch to creep from my hip all the way into my rib cage and higher. Great job, guys. Now twisting forward, drop the arm, and stand up, getting ready for our next stretch. Way to go. We're going to need a wall or something to lean on to here. All right, we're focusing on our calf muscle of that back leg. I'm planting my heel, my foot flat, slightly turning out the toe. It's going to be in between straight and about 45 degrees. And then I'm going to bring those hips forward, feeling a stretch in my calf muscle of that back leg. All right. Again, we're breathing deeply in through our nose, out through our mouth. We got our 30 seconds. Now let's raise our hips back and switch feet. There you go. As simple as that, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, while you sit up the opposite foot, keep those hips back, point the toe slightly out. Again, heel stays flat on the ground, and then slightly guide those hips forward, feeling that stretch in that back calf muscle. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that our next calf stretch is going to be slightly more intense than the first. So you do want to go into it slowly, all right? We're going to raise up our hips and then switch our feet. Since posture is a direct reflection of how tight or how weak muscles are, we're going to feel this one in a lot of different places, all right? So once we switch our feet, then you can keep that foot as straight as possible and lean those hips forward, all right? Take your time and make sure that you're breathing. All right, ladies and gents, raise those hips, switch those feet. Again, that back foot, we want as straight as possible. All right. Heels pushing flat into the ground, and now bring those hips forward. Now, since we have our foot straight, you're going to feel this stretch in different areas of maybe your hips or your knees, because everybody has a slight turnout in their foot. A person with perfect posture might have their feet slightly straighter than normal, okay? But expect to feel this in a lot of different places. All right, so you can step back and relax. Now we're going to go on to upper body. Here we're going to raise our arm and stand up nice and tall. I'm moving my arm back and forth here because I do want to extend my arm out slightly to bring it straight across my body, putting the bottom of my palm right underneath my elbow, pulling my arm into my chest. And of course, as always, deep breaths into the nose, out through the mouth. Now you can release the arm, and let's do the other side. Okay, when you bring up that arm, it's going to be about just at eye length, okay? Not over your head, just at eye length. And again, you're extending the arm straight out and then bringing it in front of your chest, putting the hand behind the elbow and pulling the arm to your chest. Now you can go ahead and release the arm and get ready for our second stretch, okay? So this time we're going to be doing the same stretch, but we're not reaching out. We're going to keep that shoulder back as you saw me do there. I tucked that shoulder back and down. Again, doing the same thing, reaching behind the elbow and bringing the arm across the body. You cannot pull that R any further than it can go, okay? It's not about pulling it as far as it can go. Just get a comfortable stretch. This one is for a larger portion of your lat as opposed to higher in your shoulder, so you won't feel it in the same places, although it's basically the same movement. Very good. Now you can go and release that arm, and let's get into the other one. Also, again, standing nice and tall, keeping that shoulder back and down, and again, just slightly bringing that arm again into your chest with the opposite hand, okay? Deep breaths, please. Deep breaths. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize for this background noise. It is definitely not getting any better. I expected to edit it out, but clearly I'm not as good as I thought I was with editing. Definitely won't happen again. All right, but we're off to our chest and then we're done. Here I'm putting my hand midline to my chest. That's where I'm going to need my arm to be to efficiently stretch my chest. If it was any higher, I'd feel this in the wrong place. I want that hand midline to my chest. I'll place that palm on the wall all the way down to my wrist, and then just step out into the stretch, all right? Just pivoting your feet, slightly turning outward. And actually, while we're here, let's just go over some good, because the bad is clearly the background noise. Now at this point, the only thing we haven't stretched directly are our biceps and triceps, but those are some smaller muscle groups, and we're going to worry about that on another video. Let's finish out our chest here. Okay, now I'm again facing straight forward to place my hand at the midline of my chest, straight out on the wall, and I'm pivoting my foot outward to open up my chest. Now I am grabbing the wall. If you can see here, I am actually grabbing the wall. This gives me the opportunity to really relax the shoulder of the hand that I'm grabbing the wall with, and that emphasizes the stretch in my chest even more. Now let's get this last one stretched for our chest and we're done, all right? Now I'm just mocking what I would be doing with my arm against the wall. You don't have to go down and grab your foam roller. Just go over to the wall. You're gonna want your elbow midline of your chest again, okay? If your arm is up here, all right, I just raised my arm and I put my elbow where my, I put my elbow where my shoulder was. You'd feel this a lot more in your shoulder, not in your chest, okay? So you want that elbow midline of your chest, all right? And then we're going to place the elbow with our hand flush on that wall, and then we're going to slowly, again, pivot that outside foot out and turn out into our stretch, okay? Deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, so you can really get the benefit of this stretch going nice deep into the midline of your chest. And then once our 30 seconds are up, we're going to go ahead and switch sides. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, our last stretch, all right? Same as the other side. Just really, again, what was I saying? Broken record, breathe in through our nose, out through our mouth. All right. Definitely thank you for coming out. This is brought to you by LiveFitLoveLifeLLC. I've been a NASM certified personal trainer for some time now. You could feel free to shoot me an email, ask me some questions, quick shout out to Slim Things. Also, my man Mustafa, which works for the Pennsylvania State Police, with this Don't Under Armour shirt.